Hey folks, Hal Shurtleff with the Camp Constitution Report. This report is hosted by Camp Constitution, which runs, among other things, a week-long family camp, ladies' retreats, and a whole bunch of other excellent things. To learn more about us, visit our website, campconstitution.net. This report can be heard or viewed on our YouTube channel, our Rumble channel, and a Podomatic, and about a half a dozen other podcast platforms like iHeart and Amazon, among others. So please subscribe to wherever you're watching or listening to this. Now, we reprint or repost articles from the American Minute. And just, it was about a month ago, there was a very interesting piece about, I think that, I don't know if the topic was evolution. I can't recall exactly. But sometimes the American Minute, it takes you a little bit more than a minute to read it, and it goes into very interesting side issues or rabbit trails, but very fascinating rabbit trails. And one of them was a reference to the movie Inherit the Wind. And I have a website called Revolution Against Evolution. This is a website I was just trying to find information about the movie. Now, my friend Jim Perlov, who wrote a book, Tornado in a Junkyard, and Darwin on Trial, mentioned the movie Inherit the Wind, and that it was loosely based on the Scopes trial in Tennessee, 1925, where a school teacher, I think his first name was John Scopes, allegedly used a textbook that promoted evolution. And evolution at that point was illegal to teach in the schools of Tennessee. And anyway, William Jennings Bryant, Democrat, who was a brilliant man. He ran for president. He was vice president, I should say, not vice secretary. I think he was secretary. He served in the Wilson administration and resigned. But he was basically acted as the prosecutor, uh, or I should say, a witness against the defendant. And Clarence Darrow, the very popular, well-known atheist attorney, was the one that was defending John Scopes. But the movie, of course, was a bunch of inaccuracies. In fact, Bryant won the case. He was found guilty, the teacher, and had to pay a fine. And I think Bryant actually paid the fine. It was $10, which $10 back in 1925 was a lot of money, but it wasn't an insurmountable amount. There was no jail time. The movie that was starred Spencer Tracy, who was supposed to be a good Catholic boy. He played the character. They actually changed the names. It was based again. They didn't use the actual names, but it depicted and William Jennings Bryant was depicted as some kind of backward, ignorant bumpkin, and the town he was in were all a bunch of Christians and idiots and bad people. Quite the contrary. They treated in real life. They treated Clarence Darrow very well. He wasn't ridiculed or threatened or anything like that. But Hollywood likes to flip the script, no pun intended. But anyway, I'm reading an article that we posted. As I mentioned, there's a little bit of a rabbit trail, and it makes reference to the actual textbook. Now, I knew about the textbook. I didn't know what was in there. Just they taught evolution. But the textbook was actually racist. It was a racist screed. And that was brought out by Alan Dershowitz of all people. I mean, I thought Alan Dershowitz would have championed the evolutionist and the atheist, but he actually was defending William Jennings Bryant. He thought he was a brilliant man, and he said the textbook in question. And let me stop the screen share, and I'll be able to see it a little easier. It's called the Civic Biology. Here's a copy. This is a reproduction of the original. It came out in 1914. And it contains a lot of stuff you'd find in biology books, interesting facts that aren't necessarily, don't have any racist back. It even discouraged alcoholism and the dangers of alcoholism. But it has a chapter on evolution, and of course it calls evolution a fact. And it says the races of man, this would be found on page 196. At the present time, there exist upon the earth 5 races of varieties of man, each very different from the other in instincts, social customs, and to an extent in structure. There are the Ethiopian or Negro type, originating in Africa, the Malay or brown race from the islands of the Pacific, the American Indian, the Mongolian or yellow race, including the natives of China, Japan, and the Eskimos, and finally, the higher type of all, the Caucasians, represented by the civilized white inhabitants of Europe and America. So here they are, the white race is the best of all. Oh boy, I bet you how many of those lefties that are snickering at Christians and crying ignorance and racism even know about this. Because we know the Darwin's book, The Origins of the Species, and the rest of the title has a racist connotation. I can't recall the rest of the title offhand, but it's definitely racist, something to do with the survival of the superior species or something like that. So, in also the book Hereditary and Variation. Let me see now. Okay, Improvement of Man, and it was promoting eugenics. When people marry, there are certain things that the individual as well as the race should demand. The most important of these is freedom from germ diseases, which might be handed down to the offspring. Tuberculosis, that dread white plague, which is still responsible for almost 1/7 of all deaths, epilepsy, and feeble mindedness are handicaps which is not only unfair but criminal to hand down to posterity. The science being well born is called eugenics. Yeah, eugenics. And let me see what else we have here. It says the remedy. Here it goes. It talks about if such people were lower animals, we would probably kill them off to prevent them from spreading. Humanity will not allow this, but we do have the remedy of separating the sexes in asylums or other places and in various ways preventing intermarriage and the possibilities of perpetuating such a low and degenerate race. Remedies of this sort have been tried successfully in Europe and are now meeting with success in this country. Actually, we taught people in this country taught the Germans how to engage in eugenics. And in the United States, I think the number was over 30 states that had forced sterilization laws, and they stayed on the books for many years. So when your favorite liberal is denouncing Christianity and denouncing creation and promoting science, tell them about this science book. I got this on Amazon. I think I might have paid $15 or $20 for it. You don't have to buy a copy of it, but I just think it's good evidence to show people. Say this is the book that Hollywood defended, right? These wonderful left-wing movie stars that made these propaganda movies and they're still being watched today. This is what they were defending, folks. So, with that, I want to thank you for watching. Please subscribe wherever, whatever format or platform you're watching, and visit our website, campconstitution.net. We have over 1,700 videos on our YouTube channel and lots of great stuff. So, we do encourage you to subscribe. And with that, I want to thank you for watching. And until next time, may God richly bless you.